and it's gone. Oh, I guess that went to the zero. Yeah, so you guys, by the time you're watching my video, I'm sure everyone's already heard the news. Metazoo is dead. Got good riddance. Honestly, I'm maybe one of the biggest anti-fans of Metazoo or whatever, but honestly, I'm not even a fan. I kind of just don't care. And I know that it burned a lot of game stores, so it's got a pretty bad like taste in a lot of people's mouths. Um, Honestly, I'm just kind of happy it's gone because I don't think it really should be part of the TCG world. But it's fine. Like, I mean, this is what happens, right? So before I get too far in, my name is Mark. I'm from SolarGames, and this is my channel where we talk about, truth, cardboard, all good stuff. And then, yeah, here's some honest truth about Metazoo. So Metazoo today around 1 p.m., I think, basically wrote this big letter. The owner, creator, Mike Waddell. Um, wasn't there like a scam company who's scamming like video game? No, that's sorry, that's Wada Games, not Waddell. Different company. I'm sorry, didn't mean to disparage your names. Anyways, Mike Waddell posted on the Discord of Metazoo saying basically they're shutting everything down. Company's going, starting immediately shutting everything down. I think they took down their Twitter or whatever social media. Then they also deleted the Discord instantly, which I don't understand why, but okay. Like, I mean, you could just leave the Discord up unless there's something there that's you're hiding. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to make it more official that you're shutting it down. I don't know. Okay. Um, am I surprised? No. I knew this is going to happen eventually, honestly. I didn't actually think MetaZoo was going to shut down or die completely. I did think though, like the creators were basically going to put less and less effort into it, eventually to the point where it would die. The game never looked very official. Even the websites where they're hosting like tournament data, whatever, it just looks so, I don't know, 1999, right? The website looks like it's trash. And if you don't put the effort into a game and you're earning kind of a lot of money selling the boxes, it kind of gives me a weird feeling about like what you're doing, right? This is the crypto bro like taking all your cash and running away with your money type of feeling. And yeah. So, in his content, in his little letter to everybody, he basically said like noted a couple things. One is that due to basically logistics and supply chain, whatever, which is all kind of bullshit too, right? So 2020, that's actually when supply chain was a problem. There shouldn't really be a logistic problem now. And so, did you just sell a bunch of stuff and now run away with people's money? Like, what are you doing, right? And what supply chain? What logistic? You mean like not paying your suppliers? You mean not paying your distributors? You mean not paying your collaborators? Like when they did this whole Sanrio thing, like why was they? By the way, that's so weird, right? So when that happened, there was a Metazoo collab with Sanrio, except it was like on TCG Player for half price or something instantaneously before release. I've never seen that before, so that must have been some weird thing too. So who knows what exactly happened there? But again, either the guy doesn't know how to run his own company, which I don't actually think that's true, or he basically got sick of it, right? It got really hard. Yes, there are problems. Yes, there are cases where the supply things might not happen, but you got to work really hard, right? You're running a company. You're holding billions of dollars, millions of dollars selling cardboard. You're basically printing money, right? Um, and then you don't want to work hard. You don't really want to push yourself to the next level. And that's what I kind of feel from that letter, from this whole letter. I know it's supposed to sound all official, like we're shutting down, we're really sorry, whatever, but just like blanket corporate speech and a lot of like blaming external factors. Like, Mike, what did you do? Or what did you not do? Did you get tired? Did you, lack thereof? Like, what could you have done? Right? Or what mistakes did you make that you can learn from? I got none of that. What I got instead was the world's out to get me, right? The world's too hard, so I'm gonna give up, and that's why we're shutting things down. Which is that fair to the players? Is that fair to the collectors? Is that fair to the people who put money and trust into you? All the content creators who built their stuff around your game, you're just kind of abandoning them like right here. That seems like a really shitty move, right? In my opinion, it's like, what are you doing? Speaking of content creators, right? I think one of the reasons why Metazoo failed, and this is kind of obvious from the point of like when it happened, was when a bunch of content creators jumped on. And this is the thing, like nowadays it's YouTube land, everything has content creator. You fart if you like take a crap, right? But you want your crap to be like worth some money, You got to get content creators to show your crap, right? That's exactly how this works now. So, of course, with Metazoo, very early on, Rudy jumped in, pushed it heavily to all his followers. Like, hey, check this out. This is the new Pokemon and all that stuff. Of course, later on, and I didn't even realize this until much, much later, but Steve Aoki came on as like partial owner of the company or something. But yeah, like whenever Aoki, and the thing is, like, I know a lot of you guys like his music. To be honest, I like one of his songs. Okay, the guy's, I'm sure he's talented, he's cool, but and actually, it's a funny story. I was at a club in New York City. This is many many years ago, and he played he was DJing for New Year's Eve, so I saw him live on stage too. Pretty much better DJ, I think, but still, like his music is okay, right? It's not great, it's okay. Anyways, if Steve Aoki is like on this thing where he's pumping whatever, I kind of just back away, man. Like I don't know, but I kind of have a bad feeling about like where this is gonna go. Okay, so I think the content creator pushed this game way too far, and it never had a chance to grow organically. The other reason why I usually back away whenever like huge content creator or huge, I don't know, like famous people start backing a game very very early on is it's rife with scam, right? This is kind of like, think of it like investors. If I put my name on something, I need to make money from it. Otherwise, like I could tarnish my name, right? So there's something that now the company owes a very, very famous person to make sure this thing's successful and that they get paid out, right? Whereas other games that are usually successful are grown organically, meaning they're just a good game, regardless of what content creators like shilling for them, right? So like this is where I think Grand Archive is very different. I know I won't talk. I'm going to talk about Grand Archive, okay? Grand Archive in this case is very different because if you look at what's happening on Grand Archive side, it's mostly like, yes, there's a lot of content creators, but those content creators aren't paid. I mean, they basically make content for Grand Archive because they like the game, right? They actually see value. I'm not a partial owner of like Weebs of the Shore or whatever, and nor do I really want to be ever. Nor am I like somehow like always engaged with, or they're giving me like free promos every week. Here's a bunch of like money in my front step. There's nothing like that. There's nothing shady like that with Grand Archive, right? Look at any other like Flesh and Blood even. The content creators are built up around it because the gameplay is good. They're passionate about the game. Whereas like MetaZoo, so much of what happened there was because somebody else who's really big, who's really, I don't know, rich or whatever, said this is a good game. And so the army of like, basically lemmings came to follow these content creators, and then, wherever they're going to go. They want to jump off a cliff, let's go, right? And so that's where it is. And so let's talk about like, I think the biggest problem with MetaZoo. There's no gameplay. I mean, yes, there is a game, there is a rule set, but it's like it's just really like eh, it's not really a gameplay. I watched this like Channel Fireball video on Grand Archive, Metazoo gameplay, and it's like kind of boring, right? It looks like kind of like Pokemon, but it's just like it doesn't look like a good game design wise. And then let's talk about aesthetics. The cards don't look good. The back of the cards look, kind of stupid. Like it's really dumb, right? It's not high quality. It looks like a really low quality image, right? The front of the card has that Yu-Gi-Oh design with like frames and boxes. I just don't like it. It's really doesn't look good. The artwork does not appeal to me either. It's very crayon, kind of feeling. It's low quality artwork. It's just all forms of it. And I've touched the cards too. The cards are super cheap, right? Feeling. So there's no point in Metazoo that makes me really like excited about the game. Okay. And of course, this is the challenge with a lot of these card games nowadays, right? The over amount of hype, collectability, like you got to make money to the moon. You're gonna miss out, FOMO, whatever. And really, all this is just running into a great TCG bubble. Like I said, in 2020, during COVID, there were a lot of TCGs that either launched or got started or whatever, right? And all of them currently are in whatever phase they are. A lot of them have launched. A good chunk of them are kind of being popular and they're being like, supported. But otherwise, like, I mean, you kind of just see everywhere else, there's kind of a graveyard of TCGs already, right? So now Metazoo is another one joining them. But I would say Metazoo is a bigger one. So it's one that maybe a lot of people didn't think would fail or fail so quickly, right? But the reality of it too was, I mean, the writing's on the wall. There was too much pressure, a lot of hype, a lot of things around Metazoo being just, it's collectible. So where is the lasting power? Where's the staying power of this game? Very quickly in the game, they introduced one of ones already. Like, like it's too much of just pushing for collectibility for collectability's sake, right? Or rare for rarity's sake. It's rare because I say it's rare. And refer to my last video about serialization for what I mean about this. And that's really at the core of the problem. There's nothing that ties people to this game. And and speaking about tying people to this game, I think the other problem is the why there's nothing tying people to this game beyond gameplay or lack thereof is they don't know their target audience. Is Metazoo an adult game or is it for kids? Not sure, right? It tries to do the Pokemon thing, appeal to kids, but it also has like adult humor and like poop, fart, booger jokes, which I don't find funny, but it's also kind of just, I don't know, it's dumb, right? So there's a lot of this kind of crap I don't understand. Like they have this collaboration with Sanrio, and that's very like kids friendly, but then they have cards that are just like really obviously for adults. So it doesn't make any sense to me what this game is for. And when a game is so new, right? You got to have a target audience. You got to build your core audience. Who's your core? And I don't understand it. Like that's, Lorcana knows 100% who their core is. It's going to be like, adults who like the simplicity of a card game, and then their kids who like the Disney characters themselves, right? Look at One Piece. The core is very simple. People who like the One Piece anime and like card games, right? That's it. It has to be a decent card game, but featuring tons and tons and tons of the One Piece core IP, right? Look at Grand Archive. Who are Grand Archive's core audience? People who like Magic the Gathering, but basically hate Wizards of the Coast and how they're running the game now, and also like anime, right? That's basically, if you like those things, or like myself, I just like the mechanics of Magic the Gathering. I don't really care for the anime part, though it's kind of growing on me, to be honest. Um, I fell in love with Grand Archive because it's such a good game. Like the gameplay is so solid. Whereas you look at games like Metazoo, there's no gameplay. It's just hype and collectability led on by a bunch of content creators who are telling you kind of like this is good. And that's the problem, right? I mean, even going back to Rudy a little bit on this, like the thing that I really don't like the most, right, about Rudy's like 6.9 kit that we've talked on this channel before. But the whole thing, Rudy kind of set it up as it's a celebration of his channel. And like I became a Rudy fan, right, way back in the day because of Magic the Gathering. I really liked his content on Magic the Gathering. Then of course I also fell in love with Flesh and Blood because he started talking about that game, and I looked at the game. It's a fun game, right? There's some problems with it, but it's also very fresh, unique. And it feels like with the quality of the cards, with the quality of the artwork, etch foiling, cold foils, it really made me feel like the creator of Flesh and Blood, cares about the game. And then, of course, he runs his 6.9 kit, supposed to be a celebration of all the things that he's done on the channel. And like the box is just basically filled with Metazoo stuff. And right then I was like, okay, so Rudy is just running over, basically he had too many Metazoo things. That's why this is happening. The funniest part is I actually won a like I don't know mini prize from the Rudy 6.9 kit, right? And one of the prizes was this like card. It was like I think it was an Alpha Swamp or something. Anyway, it's like it was either Magic or Flesh and Blood card that says, "Hey, by the way, you won a prize." Great. But then the prize was for 7 Metazoo playmats. One of them you've already seen, and the other 7 are right here. So this is just like a bunch of the stupid playmats that like I won from this thing, right? And like as a player who likes Flesh and Blood or Magic the Gathering, why do I want a bunch of fucking like Metazoo playmats? That's when I realized Rudy is holding a lot of these heavy bags, and all this probably he got for free from Metazoo for showing their game, right? So they probably shipped him a bunch of stuff, and he's like, "Well, fuck, I got to put it in a kit and ship it out to people for money." So this is the harm of like following a content creator and following what they believe in, right? And all this stuff. And the thing is, I never bought any Metazoo from Rudy, and I still got kind of looped into this whole Metazoo thing, anyways, right? I have some like Rudy promo cards, which again, on the surface, they look like a great value. Oh, this card is $130. But if you look at specifically number of sales, there's no sales. There's no sales throughput. Nobody's buying this card. Nobody cares. And now with Metazoo being gone, those cards are going to go to zero. I guarantee you. They're not going to go up. It's not. See, the thing is this. A lot of people think like, oh, the card game dies. Now there's no more card games. Of course all the cards are going to be worth more. No, they're not. You know why? The game never had a core audience. See, if Magic dies today, it's very different because there's going to be a lot of players who are like, I want to play Magic. And there's going to be players who want to replay Magic again, right? Because the gameplay is good. There's something to go back to. Or maybe somebody just says, I want to look at this card artwork or whatever. That in my opinion, does not exist for Metazoo at all. And like, prove me wrong, right? I know there's still a lot of content creators today, right, are like making content about, oh, like Metazoo's dead again. Ha 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 ha. This is the 50th time this has happened. Okay, be real, bro. Like, this is the guy deleted the Discord. Okay, he's telling you get the fuck out. Okay, he like sold the house, and you're still sitting outside the house thinking he's gonna open the door tomorrow. You're an idiot. Okay. By the way, he sold the house and ran away with your money. So it's not like he's like selling the house and then refunding everybody that supported him. He's did Mike Waddell sell his house and then like put the money back into saving the game? I mean, if you really care, right? Think about it this way. You're a creator. You built a company and it's everything that you really care about, right? When there's logistics issue and unable to pay your vendors, why don't you dig from your own pocket and pay them? Right? You probably made enough money from set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I mean, MetaZoo's been around for 2 years. There's enough money somewhere to be able to dig up and then, pay out. So why not? Why haven't you done it? And the reason you haven't done it is because you're a greedy fuck, to be honest. Okay. And everybody else who believed in you, you just scammed them all. So there's that. I have no respect for Mike Waddell. Honestly, the way that he handled even closing his company and ending this game, I have zero respect for somebody like this. And that's the truth. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. There's a lot of Metazoo fanboys out there. And I try to warn you guys, right? I know the thing I've been saying is like 50% of the TCG player at TCGs made in COVID are gonna fail, at least, right? I know I said this. But what's more important is that, like, I try to warn you about Metazoo. When LGSs got burned by Metazoo, when a bunch of there was a local LGS here that got broken into. They stole Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, and they did not fucking take a single Metazoo box. They just left it on the shelf. Now, do the thieves know what Metazoo is? I'm not sure. But the fact that it didn't even look appealing to them was a big problem, right? Anyways, Mark from SolarGames. Honestly, I started this video kind of like happy that Metazoo's dead, and we don't have to I don't have to see people getting scammed by it anymore. I'm now just kind of sad and angry, right? Like that Mike handled how this company was going to be closed, and I just hope none of you guys who are my audience got burned. It really sucks, okay? Honestly, to be in this position. And yes, I have some Metazoo items. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with it. Like maybe I'll just sell it on eBay. I don't even want to give it out as a whatever, contest prize to people. It's just so stupid. I'll probably just list it on eBay for like $1 or something stupid. All right. Peace. Mark, SolarGames. I'm out. Stay classy.